Hello, Sue. Thank you so much for joining me again on your small business podcast. How have you been?
Good. I'm happy to be here like last time. We had a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to that this time too.
Yes, we always have so much fun together. We really do. I so enjoy it. So, for the ones who are, they didn't tune in to the last one. So for the people that's new, just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and how has your entrepreneurial journey got you to where you are today?
Okay, my name is Sue Glenn, and I'm an email marketing strategist. So I love to help solopreneurs who are basically just starting out, level up their business and get new sales using a new marketing tool, which is email marketing. And I have always worked sort of on my own. I work with my husband, actually. We have a business together, and we were doing something totally different. And then a lot of times I was just started to help people with things, marketing and ideas and things. And they said, you should do this on your own. So that's how it started. And I do, workshops, I give workshops. And that started because I went to a marketing workshop and I said, "Oh, I would like to try that," because had a fear of public speaking. So I went up to the speaker and I said, "How did you get started?" and all this. And they said that they were a certified local expert with Constant Contact. And I knew who Constant Contact was because I had been using the service for many years as a volunteer for a women's networking group. So I was familiar with it and I liked the company and I said, "Oh, let me check it out." I got on board and I loved it. And I've been doing that for 7 years now
Wow.
and helping people with getting them started also with their accounts and helping them with their strategy and everything having to do with building their business with digital marketing.
That is awesome because you're exactly what every business needs. Actually, every business needs the email marketing because it's
Yes.
big, it's huge. I know some people are like, "Oh, email marketing is dead." No, it is not.
No, no,
Make
no.
so much more just by email marketing alone. So
Yeah. Hmm.
you're exactly what we need. So today we're talking about email automation. But first, let's touch on why it's so important for businesses to have an email list.
Well, it's really hard to do email marketing without a list. So the thing about an email list is growing it, finding ways to grow your list. I think people get very intimidated and they don't start email marketing because they don't have a list. There are actually ways that you can use email marketing without your list while you're growing your list. So you shouldn't think, well, I have to wait until I have, I don't know, minimum. I'm just saying like of 50 or 200 people. I have to wait until I grow my list. No, start emailing people while you're growing your list because you could email to one person and that one person doesn't know that you only have that one person on your list. And when
Mm-hmm.
you are talking to people, you really are supposed to be talking to that one person. You know, you're not supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
talking when you talk to people or connect with people. It's about reaching the one person. It's not about having that room full. And a lot of people think of that when they think of like, I need more followers, I need more people in the room. But if you had the attention of just 10 people in a room or 5 people, the attention that you give them is going to be more personalized. You're going to have more connection with them. You're going to be able to get to know them more on a personal level than you would if there were 1,000 people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So email marketing is really all about connecting with people, not like broadcasting, where some people
Right.
would think that.
You just dropped a huge value gem because when people are doing email marketing and making their content for social media, what you just said actually is what they need to keep in mind. You make it sound like you're talking directly to them. Like you said, that one person that you email, they have no idea how many more people that you're emailing because in your message, it's like you're talking to just them.
Mm-hmm.
And that really just, in a nutshell, you just said exactly what marketing is, making that one-on-one connection. And you make your posts, your emails, your videos, everything sound like you're talking to one person, but really you're connecting to a lot, but that is
Yeah,
how you want that one person to feel like, ooh, she gets me.
yeah.
That email is just for me. That video is just for me. You just hit on the head. Boom. Hope people are taking notes.
Well, that's why having your ICA, your avatar, is so important, because every time you're doing any kind of marketing, you're supposed to be marketing to that one person.
Mm-hmm.
So your ideal, what is it? Ideal customer avatar. I think that's what the ICA
Mm-hmm.
is, right? That's what it's about: speaking to the one person, marketing to that one person, helping
Mm-hmm.
that one person. And that's why there's lots of talk about your ICA and why it's so important, and as well as personalizing your email, like having somebody's first name, in their
Mm-hmm.
subject line and things like that. Always using personalization. And when you're talking to people in email, don't talk like you're speaking to a group. Right? Don't say, "Hey guys," "Hey everybody." It's, "Hi Sue," or, "Hi,
Mm-hmm.
how are you?" Not, "Hi,
Exactly.
how are you all doing today?" I see that a lot on social media as well, where they're addressing a whole group, and they should be
Mm-hmm.
really addressing that one person who's reading it.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
That is like, I feel like, well, we're done. That was great. It's such a good one. That's yeah, that was great. So what are some different ways one can build their email list? I know a lot of people, it's kind of like growing social media. You're trying to grow your list, and is what kind of different tactics, different things they can use to actually.
Yeah, there's so many different ways, and you have to really figure out, again, what's best, for you. Are you comfortable having a pop-up form on your website? Some people are not. I say you got to try everything once, because you have
Mhm.
no idea what's going to work. And the only way to know what's going to work is trying it, testing it, and checking out your analytics. People dump their analytics. They don't pay attention to them, but that's what's going to help you go forward. That's going to help you figure out what is working and what's not working. So things like, obviously, you're getting people to your website, having your um, email sign up form on the website, on an inline form, a static sign up form,
Mhm.
having an email signature in your personal email, having a sign up form there, having your opt in, creating an opt in and placing that anywhere you can online, including your, as a Pinterest pin,
Mhm.
or a link on a post for Facebook, or a post for LinkedIn. It could put it in Twitter. You can have it in your, IG bio. You can have the Linktree. There's so many forms of Linktree now. You can have your opt-in. You can have more than one opt-in as well there. But you should rotate your opt-ins, because it's going to get stale after a while. And again, you also have to test your opt-ins and see what's going to work, or your lead magnets. I use them interchangeably. They're a little bit different. Lead magnet is what incentivizes somebody to join your list. The opt-in is the actual thing that people um, click onto, or the form that they click into. Um, you can create, even like in your blog post, you can have a sign up or a link talking about an outbound link that will take them to your sign up form, either on your website or outside, to a lead page that you might have created, or a landing page that
Mhm.
has your lead magnet as well. So anytime, like, somebody's going to download something and you want to increase and grow your email list, drop that link. Drop that link wherever you think you can. That's a possibility for you. I'm sure I'm missing, lots of other places. Of course, in person, if you're having an event, people are registering for your Zoom or Google Meet. They're going
Mhm.
to enter in their email address. That's another way. So have events, have workshops, have online workshops, in person workshops if you can. Even sign up forms, they still work. If you're
Yeah.
going to an event, and you don't people are walking by your table, or a trade show, whatever it is. Trade shows are coming back. Just have a form there to fill in, or have somebody drop in their business card if you're having a raffle. Those have worked very well. You have a raffle, people drop the business card, but you do have to let them know that they are entering into not only the giveaway, but they are now opting into your email list. So that should be listed somewhere when they're signing up, or dropping in that fishbowl or whatever it is you're using as your giveaway.
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of different, like you said, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, but you do have to measure. Like you said, I think
Mm-hmm.
people do, they forget about their analytics. And at this point, what I've learned a lot of my email marketing from you, and I remember you saying that. So I'm on my analytics every day.
Yeah, yeah,
Looking to see what's working, what's not working, what landing page is getting the most views and signups and all that good stuff that I've learned from you. And people really need to hone in on those analytics, because that's the only how you can run your business and know that you're giving your audience what they want.
exactly,
It
exactly. Like,
actually takes
yeah,
away that guesswork of trying
right.
to figure it out.
Is that they're actually this? It's like market research. It's actually helping you take them on the journey that they want to be brought along on. And speaking of other people, I forgot to mention, of course, collaborating with people. If you
Oh,
collaborate
yeah.
with people, get in front of their audience. You can have a summit or a joint event. Anytime that you do that, you grow your list, because that email that somebody's sending about the summit or whatever the collab is going to go out to everybody, and they automatically pretty much get opted in, unless they uncheck a specific box,
Right. And that's
right?
a huge thing, collabs. I know for some people, I think I've done I can't remember which show it was, but we were talking about how some people are nervous about collabing. Um, and
Yeah,
because they kind of see people as a little bit like competition, kind of, I guess. And it's like, no, don't think of
yeah.
anyone's competition.
Collaboration over competition. That's
Yes, yes. And
you
you're
need
both, it's a
women helping
win-win.
each other. Right,
Yes,
right. Yeah, I agree.
definitely. Definitely. It's a win-win
Totally.
for both of you. So yeah, that's another great way to grow your email list. And I love the lead magnets. Yes,
Mm.
I'm a
You have
shoo-in.
oh, you have an
Oh, I have
amazing lead magnet. A lead
yes,
magnet of all lead magnets, right?
yes. I'm telling you, that one that I made with the it was the 30 lead magnets with the example of 30 lead magnets, and then you had the titles that go with them, that it was fill in the blank. I tell you, it was, I don't know how many. It was hundreds
Mm.
that I got off of that one
That's
lead
amazing.
magnet.
So
I
that's
said,
something you need to share more often.
I know, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I had it on my link tree, which I made with Kajabi. So now I have the link tree, and then I have a Kajabi link tree. Now I
Okay.
need to take one of them down. But yeah, I had it on there, and I actually just took it off because I put up another one. It was a ebook for a lead magnet. So I'm using my analytics, like you said,
Yeah,
and
testing
see
them.
which one draws the
Mhm.
best. But yes, um, but like I said, that collab, yes, it's another great way. So now that I'm trying to take people on the journey of the email, building the list. So now that you've got the email list, it's growing, you got your lead magnets, your opt-ins going. So now explain exactly what email automations, what that is, and how you can benefit from doing that now that you've grown your list.
Okay, so right. So now it's a journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You create you don't have an email list. So now you start building your email list. You create your lead magnet to get people opt in to be a subscriber. And as soon as they become a subscriber, you need to send out your automated welcome email. Okay, you don't want to just leave them hanging. Now, a lot of people sign up for several. If somebody's doing a search for on a subject, and they come across more than one person who they sort of connect with or want information from, they might sign up for 3 or 4 lead magnets at the same time. Okay. If they don't get a welcome from you as something in their inbox pretty much immediately from that download or whatever it is, and the other person does, the other person's more likely gonna connect with them, or they're gonna remember them. So you don't want to wait too long. So automation is basically just an easy way for you to respond to people um, with less work. So it might be some extra work up front, but down the road, it's just going to make life easier for you. So there are a few different kinds of automations that are important. And the first one, of course, is the welcome. So it's thank you for joining my list. Welcome to, whatever it is that you want to welcome them to. Thank you for the download, right? Thank you for, um, you want to make them feel like they did the right thing by choosing whatever that opt-in was with you, and how you're going to help them, because it's always about what's in it for me. So, what's the next step? So after you have the thank you and the download, then you want to send out your welcome series or your nurture series. So this is when they first get on your list, because this is when you're going to make the first impression, and it should be the best impression. They need to now get to know you. So you want to just send out the series of emails about, who you are, how you can help them, what you've done for other people, a little bit about you, having them follow you on social media. So these can all be separate.
Mm-hmm.
Your first email could also be after the thank you and the welcome, the next day. Now let's connect on social.
Right.
That could be the very next one. If you want to just get them connected with you in different ways, because if they're just going to keep getting emails from you, they won't have other ways of knowing how you communicate with them, because there is different styles. There's an email style. Of course, they're going to be similar, but you want them to see you, like how you interact with people on Instagram. How do you interact with people on Facebook? Are you creative? Do you have more things on Pinterest? How are you showcasing yourself, your business, what you do, how you help people, and maybe some personal stories that might connect with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are some ways to do, automation. Of course, also there's some good ones, like if you're a salon, or like if you have a product, maybe put in, and this works for like Starbucks. It's great. Get their birth date. Not doesn't have to be the year, just the day and the month, and every year on that anniversary or your birthday, you get an offer, a discount, or even just a happy birthday if you have nothing to offer. It
Yeah.
just keeps you top of mind. Now that's something you set up once, and if that person's on your list for 10 years, hey, every year, they're reminded, hey, this person remembered me in some fashion.
Right. And that's the way to get a lifelong paying customer,
Right.
is making them feel special and
Yep.
all that good stuff. That's definitely a great way to do it. And people need to, have that email series, because you don't want like thank them for getting the opt-in, thank you for downloading this download, and then saying, hey, buy this.
Oh yeah. Right.
You
Right.
gotta nurture them and
Yeah. Give
give
them
them
a,
back.
give them another resource. Don't sell them, and don't even give any offers until you get like towards the end, where you can give them a little offer. You're not doing a whole launch. It's not like you're going to sell them something, a big ticket item in this series. That's something that you shouldn't do, is sell them something big when they just, got on your list a week or two ago. They're just getting to know you. You have to build the relationship just like you would in person.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't just walk up to a stranger and say, hey, do you want to buy my business course that's like $800? And they'd
Right.
be like, I don't know you. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But once they get to know you, and if they know, like, and trust you, then there's a better chance for sure.
Exactly. This is where that whole value thing comes in. People, you hear a lot about, just make sure you bring a lot of value to your emails and your posts and stuff, and let people know, like, hey, this is what I do. I am good at it. Let me give you some pointers. Let me show you what I do, and then lead them on to maybe an offer
Right.
at
Yep.
the
Hey,
end.
you can have a free offer is still an offer,
Yeah.
and if you have another resource, put that resource in the next email. If you should definitely put some sort of an offer, but it shouldn't be a paid offer. It should be
Yeah.
another kind of a free offer that works upon the first thing they opted in for. You should go along the same lines that you have the
Yeah.
first
Or
time.
yeah, and then after a while, I'll do a low ticket offer, and
Yes.
then some more nurturing, and then a big ticket
Yeah,
off.
yeah. You can always upsell them. Once they get to that low ticket, they can see your other offers. And if they're ready, I mean, it depends also where they are on their journey, in their purchasing. Are they ready to go all in? Some people are right away. They're like, oh, I
Mhm.
like what she has. Let me see what else she has. And if it's something that they need, and hey, the low ticket items are going to give you value, but they're not going to be a big transformation. The big ticket items is what gives the transformation. So if somebody's ready for that transformation right away, great. Most people are not. Most people want
Right.
to get eased into the journey, or when they're first starting out, some people don't just go all in. So you're mostly going to be talking to the people who are on a longer journey with you, bringing them along
Mhm.
for the ride.
Yeah, you might have to hold their hand a little bit,
Yes,
and
for
then
sure. Always
yeah,
got
and
a
then lead them
handhold.
to the street, and then y'all can cross it together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, what is the best? Why is it best to segment your customers? And I did not learn anything about segmenting until I met you. Because I
Oh, wow.
remember when I
Okay.
first met you, I was the one that was sending all of my email lists the same stuff. Boom, everybody gets it.
Everybody gets it.
Yeah. And then when I met you, I was like, oh, segment. What is
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
So why is it best to segment your customers? Tell us a little bit about that.
So being relevant with the content that you have for a person is the most important thing, and that's why segmenting is so important. You may start your email list with right off the bat with segmentation, or you may start with general. Now, most email marketing services have the default list, which is mostly called general list, and everybody gets dumped in there. So if you don't start with segmenting your list, you'll use that general list and go through the list using tags to figure out, how did this person get on my list? Let's just say you're a general marketing person. So you may market with social media, you may market with email marketing, you may do Google ads, you may have a podcast, right? So how did the person get on your list? So just say, like, you're not ready to segment, although that would be the four really good buckets to put people in. But
Mhm.
if you had them in the general list, and then you decide, oh, I really need to segment my list, then and you've already tagged them with, well, they got in through the podcast, they got in through this opt-in that relates to email marketing. They found me on social media and they opted in on my LinkedIn bio. Then you can segment them to those specific buckets from the general list. Now that's one way to do it, and the other way to do it is to actually segment them right away, to set up the lists before you even have these opt-ins. So if I know I'm sending an opt-in about social media, I'll have um, my bucket, or my segmented list called social media. And when
Mhm.
somebody joins, does the opt-in or signs up, it will get dumped automatically through automation into the social media bucket. So I can still send them generalized emails. But if I want to be specific about something to do with social media, since that's what they originally were interested in, they're going to be more interested once they get an email related to that, because
Mhm.
that's their main interest. So I've done both email marketing and social media workshops, and I separated them because even though they do go together, they are two separate animals. And if somebody's already versed in social media, they're not going to want to get my social media emails. But
Right.
if they want to start learning about email marketing, then they will. So if I'm giving them what they want and it's relevant, they're more likely to open my emails than if I didn't send it that way. So that's how segmenting works. Anytime somebody purchases something that's very specific, like I have a friend, she sells like coconut oil, um, body care, but
Mhm.
she sells different fragrances, essential oils. I don't want to say fragrances, but like she might have lavender, she might have peppermint, she might have cedar wood, whatever it is. And
Mhm.
so by segmenting even more into not just the coconut body lotion, okay, she has a list, generalized list, then she might have coconut body lotion, she might have soap bars, but she can also segment it by the scent. So if she has lavender, if she's
Mhm.
sending somebody a lavender, a special in a
Mm.
lavender bundle of the soap, the facial cleanser, anything that's lavender, then the people who like lavender are more likely to purchase it than
Right.
somebody who's not on that list. So that's a great example on how you could use segmentation.
Definitely. You give them what they want. That's always the biggest thing when it comes to this and email marketing and just being an entrepreneur. You give your customers what they want. So if you know that customer loves lavender, like
Mm-hmm.
or segment like you said, lavender, coconut, I don't know what other any other category that you have with your products. Even like with makeup, you got your eye makeup, your lipstick,
Yes. Right.
whatever.
I'm a big lipstick. I wear lipstick all the time. And it's so funny because there's a lipstick day in July, and I've done lipstick reels, I've done lipstick posts, and it's
Really?
amazing of how many people who don't wear lipstick. And I was really surprised because I just thought, everybody wears lipstick, and they don't. So
I actually don't either. I have lipstick, but I don't wear it. I wear lip gloss.
yeah, see, because you have nice color lips.
Well, thank you.
Mine just blend in with my skin. Like my daughter has like lips like this color,
Oh,
and so I've always just, and then maybe because my mom she always wore this one color every
oh,
single day. Maybe that's where I got it from. But I, even when I
maybe.
work from home, I put
Wear
lipstick
lipstick.
on at home.
Wow.
You know, I go to see my dad. So funny. I go to see my dad. He's at the veterans home, and I put on lipstick, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm putting my mask on. I gotta take my lipstick off. But so it's just something that I do.
Yeah.
So I
But
forgot now. Where did I come up with this with the lipstick thing?
we were talking about segmenting, like,
Oh yeah, segmenting
yeah.
about lipstick, but I forgot why I was talking about it. Oh my god. So anyway, because I like lipstick, so if I get an email that has to do with makeup, not I do wear all of it. I wear eyeliner, eyeshadow, mascara, but if it's lipstick, I'm going to pay more attention to lipstick. So everybody should make
Mhm.
sure that if they're selling lipstick, I'm on that list.
Right, exactly. It's a good way to segment, especially if if you sell beauty products. You have your eye people, you got your lipstick
Yes.
people, your concealer people,
Yeah.
and then you know what they want and you segment and you give them exactly what they want. So you make sure that the eye people are not getting the lipstick emails.
Yep. Yep.
They
That's
don't want
right.
that. They want the mascara. So that is
Hmm.
the best reason to segment, to give them what they want
Right.
so they will purchase. And be your loyal customer. So, what are some of the best marketing automation tools? I definitely want you to hit on that constant contact because that's what you do,
Yes.
and it's a very good one.
Well, obviously, with email marketing, it's going to be your email service provider as far as automation tools. All
Mhm.
of the thousands of now email marketing companies have automation tools. They may not be in your basic email package. The more sophisticated that your automation has to be, the higher the price of your automation tool will be. But that is the simplest one to use, is one in your email service provider. Now, of course, there are course platforms like Kajabi, who also has their own email service within it. I use Podia for my course platform, and they have their own email automation as well.
Mhm.
If there are some companies that don't have email automation, like if you're using a big platform, they will integrate, with your email service provider. But to get started with automation, definitely you want to start with your email service provider, and you start creating the flows, that you want. How many days apart do you like? Let's just say you're starting with your welcome series. How many days apart do you want to send your email? What time of the day do you want to send your email? How much information do you want to send them? What is it that you want to send them? So you may create different series for them wherever they are in their customer journey, based on what it is that you offer. So if you're having a high ticket item, your series is going to be over a longer period of time. If you're launching a big ticket item, your launch series is going to have probably a lot more emails in it, because you have the announcement, the sign up, depending on if you're doing a webinar or an event or a challenge. You're having an everyday challenge and they're going to get an email for that, every day. So depending on what your launch is, that's going to determine how many emails you'll have in these different sequences. So for every, I guess, product or service or launch that you have, you want to create, put together your email series. But the great thing about automation is if you're going to market that product again or launch that same thing again, you now have that to use again. You don't have to recreate it as long as it's the same. You could even do it the same time of day. All you have to do is just recreate the series or stop the series and then start the series again to get it going. The automation can save you so much time in the long run, but you have to put the time in to get it set up first.
Yes, definitely. And that's what it's all about, that automation, being able to just, as soon as the person opts in, you start them on whatever automation, like you said, wherever they are in the journey, and boom, there it is. So every day they get whatever, and it just runs by itself, basically.
Yeah, then you don't have to worry. You're not saying, "Oh, I didn't send out an email today. I got to send this email out." Or then your launch will run a little more smoothly because those steps are behind you, and you can focus on the webinar, whatever it is that you need to focus on. The actual the prospect or the customer is where you want to focus, not on the back end stuff. You want to have as much as you can of that automated.
Yes, definitely. So, how do you ensure that your emails get opened? I know that some of people's biggest thing is like, okay, I'm making the emails. So, how can I be sure they're actually going to open the emails now?
Well, you can never be 100% sure that that's going to happen, but you want to try and make the best possible option for that to be a possibility. And there are three things that you need to focus on. And one of them is, who is the email coming from? How do you know this person? Okay. So for you, I would say I know you through your podcast. So I might have you're from, say, Janice or Janice Martin, and then uh, dash your small business podcast. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely sure I know who this person is, and I'm going to open it because I love Janice, right?
Yay.
If if you just have the small business your small business podcast and people may not know your name, they may be curious now and say I'll open it, but they may also skip it right by because, well, I didn't see Janice's name. So you want to make sure you have really both. So I try to use my first name, my last name, and my company name. And some people don't even know my company name, but they may know that I have like a catchphrase called email with ease. That's like my products, my course. I talk about that a lot when I sign off, email with ease. So they may connect that with me. So for certain groups, again, segmentation, I might write, my name and then email with ease so people know who I am. If I'm sending an email to a group, a networking group, then I might say fellow member of whatever that group is for them, because
Hmm.
they may not know my name yet. What if I'm sending my first email to them? They may not know who I am.
Right.
But if I say fellow member of, you have to have that connection with the person,
Right.
and then just follow that. Don't keep changing it. So that's the first thing. And then also have your reply email be an email address that's also easily recognizable, but also one that you check regularly. Some people set it up and then they may not use that email again, but you can change it. And you want to make sure that it's set up properly so that when somebody replies to you, you can answer that question. They may send you a question right away or make a comment about that email, and you want to make sure that it gets to you right away. Okay, so you should always check on that. And of course, the most important, second most important, because the second thing they're going to see after your name is the subject line. So your subject line, has to have certain things in it. It has to be a certain length to be optimized to get opened, the best open rates, for you.
Yes. And again, what I think I know we talked last time about the percentage of open rates. What did you say is a good percentage of open rate?
Well, an average is the high teens, which people are surprised to hear. But like some people say, oh, I only got a 30% open rate. I'm like, because people think they're going to get 100% open rate. They don't, especially when they're first starting out, they don't know anything about open rate. So
Mhm.
you think that 100% is always good for everything, you know?
Yeah.
So if you tell them, well, that's double what average open rates are, then they're all excited. So you really have to know the numbers. You have to know, like, figure out what's the average, and then also once you get to a certain point, you always want to be improving. So doing A/B testing, test one subject line against another subject line and see which one gets the better open rate of the two, and then use other subject lines in consistent with that subject line, whatever it might be. There are certain tools that, certain tips you need to know about subject lines, like the shorter the better. You
Mhm.
want to make sure that the words that are most important go at the beginning of the subject line, because when you're thinking about mobile phones and people checking on their smartphones, there's not as much real estate in the subject line as there will be for someone who's opening it up on desktop.
Right.
So you want to make sure you actually preview your subject lines in your email service provider to make sure that um, what they're seeing on mobile makes sense if it's going to get cut off if you have a long subject line.
Mhm.
um I can't think of the example now, but it was something where it was just a regular sort of like a phrase, but when you cut it down, it was like didn't make any sense. And that's all the people that were seeing on the mobile, because they either should have shortened it or changed the subject line to make sense. They didn't check how it was going to look on mobile.
Mhm.
So that's one tip.
I think I want to say if it's in Kajabi or somewhere, but is there some? I'm sure there's some platforms that will show you what it looks like on mobile and then show you what it looks like on desktop, so you
Yeah,
can see what your title looks like. But now
right.
that you say that, I actually look at that, but I never look at my title to see what it looks like. Now that you said that, I'm like, let me
Yeah,
write myself a note because I need to make sure the title makes sense
makes sense.
on
Right.
the mobile. Because you're
That's
right,
right.
there's not a lot of real estate there.
No, no. But there's so you can always preview. I mean, your email service should have a preview mode where you'll see what it looks like, and you can see both on mobile. There should be a toggle where it shows mobile and then desktop. And then there's also a test mode where you can actually send that email as a test. So you can look at it. I always send, like, my clients' work. I send them the draft and I send myself the draft. So I can look at it first and then I make sure it looks right on my phone and make sure it looks the same way, on their phone. So I do look at desktop and mobile when I send the test as well, because it may not be exactly the same as the preview. So always do the preview and do the test. Do both of them
Yeah,
before
I
you
should
send
do
your
that the other day. I had sent out an email this week and I segmented, just like you
Yeah.
said. But I actually sent a video and I had a video of some top tips, I think, for your CTA, for your lives or videos or something. And the first one I sent, the link didn't work.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my God.
Did you
So
check it? Did you check it first?
I didn't check it first.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
that's a big.
what did I
A
not do
lot
that?
of people make that mistake.
Yes.
You always have to check your emails before you send it.
I
The
know.
links are really important to check them. And I mean, I've had people, like, where, like, a lot of times I will copy a campaign if I'm using the same format and change the call to action with a button, but the
Mm-hmm.
link is already there. So you can either change the link or remove the link, or remove the link and then change the link, because if you forget to change the link and then you don't, and you think, oh, I put the button there, but you forgot about the link,
Right.
it's going to go to the link from whatever last email you sent and that information. So that's why it's important to send yourself. That's why I do the test. The preview is
Yeah.
great, but I may forget to check the link in the preview. But when it comes to me as a test, I go through every single link.
I'm yeah. After this week, I was like, I really got to start doing that. So then I had, of course, resend another email, and I
Yeah,
hated
it's
it
extra
because
work.
I know how people, we don't like a lot. We get enough emails as
Hmm.
this. And so put another email out, and the heading was, the subject was like, "Oops."
Yeah, and they may not,
Here's
but
your
they might not see that
video.
email, right? They may not see that email too.
Yes, yes. But of course, I checked my analytics to see how it went. And of course, I had more that opened the first one than the second one. I said, darn it, they were tired of me and they didn't open that second one. So some got the video
And
of
some
the
didn't.
video tips and some didn't. But I was like, live and learn. I'm gonna
That's
make sure
right.
that
That's what it's
I
about.
fix it.
Learning from the mistakes.
Yes, yes, yes. And learning from you. I'm telling you, you're so great with these emails. Um, let's talk. Well, we've already talked about the analyzing. We've done good on that. I wanted to talk about because you can analyze the view rate, the open rate, the click through rate, and conversion rate. Let's explain really quickly exactly what those rates are that people should be analyzing when it comes to their analytics for their emails.
Yeah. So the first one is your open rate. So your email service provider will show you a percentage of how many people opened your email, and it will also show you which people opened your email. So that's really good because you can really target them specifically. So if you're having an event and somebody clicked the link, but they didn't sign up, maybe, then
Mm-hmm.
you can segment them to send them the link again, where you may not send another person the link who already signed up. So it's another way to touch a touch point with them. So opens now. There's an issue with opens in 2020. Where are we? 2022. Um,
It's
keep thinking
hard. It's hard to
2021. It's
say.
like, gee, it's crazy. Um, Apple iOS has made some new regulation in their privacy something where it's affecting people's open rates. It's showing people's open rates ineffectively, showing more open rates than maybe normal. So the most important analytic right now is clicking on the call to action, not so much the open rate. So you should give more thought about your click-through rates for your CTA than for your open rates. Of course, they're still very important, but you may not get the exact analytics that you were looking for. But to improve your open rates, you would there are ways to improve even a good open rate, and that's to shorten the subject line. Maybe some tips are in general in a subject line is to add an emoji that relates to the content that might stand out, like having that extra color,
Mm.
because everybody's inbox shows, I believe, the black text is black.
Mm-hmm.
So showing like one emoji
Mm.
can make you stand out, in somebody's inbox when they're scrolling, right?
Ooh.
Obviously not doing all caps because that's just annoying and people may just skip that right past. Now these are all tips
Mm-hmm.
that I give every single time I talk to someone because they're always worth reiterating. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the subject line, like asking a question or lists numbers really help. So like the 3 ways or top 5 or also did you know questions. You don't want to uh, click and bait or switch and bait. I always get that mixed up, but like say one something in the subject line that has nothing to do with what's in the content or in the
Mm-hmm.
messaging, because that's like false advertising, so you don't want to do that. Um, so open rates, yeah, obviously they're very important. That's the telltale of how the rest of your email might work. But the most important um, analytic is your click through because that's the action. That's what you want people to do. Read this, buy now, learn more. Um, open now,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. But have a button. You mostly want to have a button that stands out as opposed to having a link because most people have more than one link and it gets confusing. If you have more, I think they said if you have more than 5 links, people skip the links altogether because it's having too many.
Wow.
So you can mask your link by making it look like it's included in a paragraph, right? And some people, so if you said like click here, The here could be underlined and made as a link, but it's not so much in your face. Like if you had it colored and it was separate and it was not hidden. So if you
Mhm.
don't have a hidden link, it has all the letters, all the numbers, question marks, all of that.
Mhm.
That's a link that's not hidden. If you use or masked, if you use a mask link, it's like saying click here, and all that gibberish is actually behind the HERE. So
Right.
yeah, so that's a link. But to make the most important call to action stand out, you should use a button of contrasting color to the rest of your email.
Right.
So if you're
Right.
going to say click here or sign up, it should be a button. So it could be, red on white or blue with yellow, but it should actually match your branding.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it should match your branding as well.
Would you say five? Is that like five of the same CTA, or I mean, five of the same link in one email, or
It
is it
could be five of the
different?
same or five different
Okay, I
because
just wonder what's because I've always been told and read that you give people one call to action because if you give them five or six different ones, they're probably not going to do any of them.
right.
So I'm just wondering, can you put five different ones in there and hope that they will click it, or is it better to just have one of the
It's
same?
better to have. It's always better to have less choices. It's always better to
Yeah,
just have one, and you can have that same one.
five different times.
Yeah, but you don't even want to have that because you don't want to have a long enough email where people have to do that. You don't want to have an email that's like a novel,
Yeah, you don't want that. They're
right?
not gonna
So
read
they're
it.
not going to read it, right? So the best thing, if you're going to have something that is long, like let's just say it's a blog post, instead of putting the whole blog post in your email, just do the first paragraph and then put your call to action, a button that says read more here. So the more
Yeah.
interested people are going to read it, they're going to click on it. But if they don't see that article above the scroll line, or people call it the fold, then they know this might be a long email. Now, if you
Hmm.
have the information right below the fold, they're not going to know that until they start scrolling. But maybe some people never scroll. Maybe they just you don't know. You
Yeah.
don't know how people are reading emails.
People less and less.
Yeah,
I wonder if one just because people are here's my mind going, but since people we're not reading anymore. I wonder if we're gonna get to where we're gonna start doing video email marketing and just talking to people on videos instead
well,
instead
video,
of writing
audio,
stuff.
audio is super popular too. I mean, you can have what's good is video is really good to have in an email as well. You can have a
Yeah.
snippet, you can have a quick snippet, and again, you can have a read more under the video, so people can like go to YouTube or go to an outsourced link where how's your video or whatever it is.
Hmm.
But you can put movement in your emails. I don't really know how that affects somebody um, opening it. Like after they open it, I don't know if there's any extra loading time for a video or a GIF to show up as opposed to just having text. But the
Hmm.
movement, anything visual is better than having all words because your
Yeah.
mind and your brain reacts to visual actually more than text. So if you have a really beautiful picture or something that has to be related to the content, you're more likely to have people to read it based on what they see. Because remember, they're going to see it first,
Hmm.
right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's important too.
Okay. Well, this has been an awesome episode. Do you want to talk a little bit about constant contact?
Let's see. Well, constant contact is great for people who are just starting out. It's really good for also established businesses. They've been around for 25 years, so they know what they're doing. And so I help people who are interested in trying constant contact because they have 60-day free trial, and I have a link that people can sign on to, and then once they want to set up an account or something, I can help run them through the whole setup at no
Mm,
cost. Now, there are a lot of people who don't do that with, like, if you
right.
sign up for other services, I don't know if there's people who are going to help you do that besides the company. And Constant Contact also has their own, phone customer service that you can reach them to. So they just also started a new service called Core. It's called Email Core, and it's a lower price product than their startup product, and it's $9.99 a month, and it has your basic stuff that you need to get started with email marketing. But I help people to set up their profile and set up their account, because if you're not techie, that could be a big stopping point for people when they see, oh,
Mm-hmm.
now I got to learn new tech. How am I going to do that? So yeah, I will help. I'll help people do that. Set them up that way.
Yeah, that's excellent. I don't really know of many email platforms that actually do that, that have somebody that will walk you through step by step.
Yeah,
Usually they leave you, like usually they take your money and they leave you on your own and you have to figure it out yourself how to get to work.
right. And it's not that easy when you don't know what you're
it's
doing.
it's
Once you
not. I
yeah.
used to use well, I'll just say the name. I used to use Get Response, and it was okay. But when it came to setting up the automation,
Automation.
I'm just saying it
Automation.
all wrong. My
Yeah.
Tennessee is coming out, is it?
I love it.
But when I was trying to set that up, I was confused. And usually, with everything that I've learned, I've taught myself, and usually I can figure stuff out. No, I couldn't figure it out, so I never used
Mm.
their email automation. Say it again.
Automation.
Automations. What
Yeah.
is wrong with it? I just can't say it. But I definitely will make sure those links for you is in the show notes so people can get on and sign up for constant contacts or any things that you got going on, so they can connect with you. Tell us really quick how we can connect with you on social media, and then we'll do a quick this or that game. I'll do about
Oh, okay, that
5
sounds fun.
questions for
Yeah.
you.
So
Yeah.
on social media, I have simplified things, and I am anywhere, almost anywhere. Instagram, Facebook, I think Twitter, Pinterest, and what else is there? LinkedIn. At Sue, yeah. So at
Are you
Sue.
on TikTok?
No, I have not jumped on that bandwagon. I'm not on YouTube either, but eventually, this might happen. But yeah, it's Sue V Glenn, like V as in victory. So
Okay.
that's it. That's it. That's what I am. That's
And
what.
that's good. And that's easy. You're Sue V. Glenn on everything.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yes. So let's do just a few this or that questions. I don't know. I wanted to do something different that I didn't see
Okay.
nobody do. And everybody was loving this or that.
Ooh,
Even my daughter was like, Mom, that is so fun that you do that. It's
I'm
so fun.
excited.
I know,
Okay.
right? Okay, so we'll do a few. We're gonna do. I had seen some really funny ones, and I wasn't for sure if they were appropriate, but I'm not
Oh, you can. I'm open to everything. So go ahead.
oh, so would you rather do you like YouTube or podcast? See?
Podcast.
Oh, yay! That's always a good one. Basketball or football?
Ooh, okay. So I don't watch either one, but but I'm thinking about starting to play basketball. So I'm gonna say basketball.
Tell me now.
No,
Wait,
I mean
we
not
gotta
playing
back
like
up on
shooting,
this.
just shooting
You're
hoops.
gonna start playing basketball?
I need to do some fun aerobics, and I'm thinking of getting a basketball hoop, just in my driveway and shooting hoops.
That's a good workout.
I
It really
know, and it's
is.
fun, right?
Yeah,
Better
it
than
is.
riding the bike or row. I just,
Yeah, I run. It's kind of boring until
woo,
I watch
yeah.
Netflix while I'm
Running
running
is
or
is good for
Housewives.
you, but I'm older and my knees they'll give out. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Yeah,
afraid to run.
it can take a toll on your knees and your ankles. Let's see. We got beer or wine.
I really, because I get headaches, can't drink either. But on occasion I do have beer because wine will definitely give me a headache. Although I love how wine looks and the whole, I love wine
Yeah,
glasses. I have a nice, really wine glasses, but unfortunately, I can't drink most of it most of the time. So
yeah.
once in a while, I'll have some beer with my husband.
Really. What kind
Yeah,
of beer you drink? I'm just wondering.
I love like Sam Adams. They have
I've seen that
flavored like
one.
heart, like pumpkin ale and
Hmm.
fun stuff like that. I don't like dark beers.
Yeah, I don't. It's acquired taste. Just
Yes,
haven't got
I
there.
don't drink it a lot. I don't drink it a lot, but
Would you like to be invisible or read minds? Which one?
invisible.
Me too. I'm nosy.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to know all the business. Mummies or witches? Which one you like?
Wait, say that again.
You got mummies, like the mummies, like Egyptian mummies, and then
Oh,
you got
okay.
witches. Which one do you
Oh,
like?
witches. I thought it was widgets, and I'm like, what does a widget have to do with a mummy? Oh, witches, witches, witches.
Oh, that's amazing. Super tall or super short? Which one?
Wait, talking about coffee or just in general?
Oh no, you like your height.
No, I know. Well, I'm short, and I have complained about it, but I'm embracing it. So super short,
Really? What's your height?
5'2".
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, and my son, I have a stepson. He's like almost 6 feet. The boy is 14, and he does the dishes. Why is he putting everything on the top shelf? I can't read
That's
nothing, and I think he's doing
funny.
it on purpose. I'm gonna ask.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, we'll do one more. Ghost stories or scary movies? Like, do you want
Oh,
to read ghost
I think
stories or would you watch
scary,
the
scary
movie?
movies. I mean, some of my favorite movies are not they're thrillers, not horror, but like I love Silence of the Lambs. Like that's
Really?
creepy. Yeah, so I like scary, creepy movies.
I do too. Mystery movies, suspense.
Yeah, and
Those are my
suspense.
favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch those Lifetime movies?
No.
Because
Mm-mm.
they're like suspense, but it's like you always figure them out and after the first 20
No,
minutes.
but I watched a lot. I watched the mystery documentaries. Like the Who, like who
Like
who
Dateline.
yes, like yeah,
Yeah,
some of
that's
them.
my thing too now. Have you
It's
ever listened? Look, this is whenever I play this or that game, I'm telling you, I think this is why people love it because we start talking about all kind of
yeah,
stuff. But I've started listening to the podcast that's like that. The
like the
true
true
crime
crime.
podcast.
Oh, I
Yes.
haven't I haven't started with that, but I've heard.
There's one that
Yeah.
I am so in love with, and watch I forget the name. I think it's look at me. Let me grab my phone because they have like a funny spin to it. Like it's not, some of the true crime is it's just really sad, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe
Yeah.
they did that. But
Yeah.
then this podcast, they bring some humor to it, and they crack me up. Uh, True Crime Obsessed. That is the
Obsessed.
one.
Oh, I'm gonna write that one
Oh,
down.
oh man,
Because
I'm
I've heard
telling
of the true
you.
crime ones, but haven't gotten to them yet.
Oh, I be in my car. I listen to it at work, which when people are like, oh my God, she's a nurse and she listens to this. I mean, I'm in the office all day long.
Okay.
When I go in the office, and
Oh,
so I'll
okay.
just turn it on and listen to it, and I'm laughing all day
Oh
at this
my gosh.
podcast. And it's a true crime podcast, but their take on it, it's you just have to listen to it. It's different.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
gonna do that.
yes. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. We're almost an hour.
Okay. I don't know how long you needed, but
No,
one is
hey, I can do 15, 20, 30. It don't even matter.
oh,
It really
okay.
doesn't even matter. Just as long as we talk and we do good on the subjects and we did great. This email podcast was definitely awesome. A lot of good value gems that you said. And actually, as we were talking, I thought of another one. I'm always going to have you on the show. You're like a
Oh,
recurring guest
yay.
all the
I love
time.
it.
Yes, because I was thinking of when we were talking about the customer journey and maybe doing a show about the customer journey and what you put in your email in that journey for the
Okay.
customer. I
Yeah.
think that would be a good one
Yeah,
too.
that would be.
But this is
I've got content for that.
yeah, you got content for it all. But thank you so much, Sue. I so enjoy having you on the show, and we definitely will be talking again.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
great talking
you.
to you as well.
Yes.
Have a great day.